Yeah, we can get us talking about nonsense.
We like the little beforehand.
Yeah, people like a little bit of banter of us nonsense talking.
Look at the boogity boogity.
Boogity boogity?
Ooh. Where's my goddamn fan?
That's how you start a show.
Come back.
Oh, yeah.
Or did it come back around?
It's bad.
He went downstairs to grab a drink. It came back up.
Trying that new whiz.
Look, I've got the seat here.
We got a guest tonight. Won't leave the room. God, interesting side note.
Well, cheers.
Hello,
everyone.
folks. Welcome to the Behind the Dahmercast, where Jeffrey Dahmer has captured our hearts and then ate them. I'm Clint.
I'm Paxton.
That's Fro.
Hi.
Do you don't think we got robbed, though, by the police stopping Dahmer? He could have killed 17 to 40 more people. Then we could get a second series of this show. That's
Oh, wow. So there's not going to be a season 2?
Yeah, there is, but it's going to be a different serial killer, I think. They're going to...
Oh, okay. I wonder if they're going to make him do it again like he did on American Horror Story. He played like a different villain every episode.
Oh, wow.
Apparently, he had to see a therapist for 2 years after one of the characters he played. So I guess he's in therapy forever.
I heard
now.
it's the
Was
same
it the
guy
Crab Boy?
I didn't watch
That was a good one.
I never watched it. This week's episode is brought to you by Thai Bean Coffee, Inferno Hot Sauces, Bubba Gumbos, the Beer Label Society, and Raw Ingredients. We'd also like to welcome our newest Patreon subscriber.
Terry.
Get back, Terry.
Back it up,
Terry.
Back up, Terry.
Yes, Terry. We'll get on to Terry in the second half.
That's right. I got onto him last night for a little bit.
Oh,
Hey, yo.
I was harder than Woodpecker Lips. I wanted to slide that in at some point, but I couldn't wait at all.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
Yeah, yes. They said that in a football game the other day. He goes,
Yeah.
"Yeah, that play was harder than Woodpecker Lips." And I was like, "What the hell?"
Nice.
I love it.
That's really good. Because you know a woodpecker, they need hard lips.
They got-
We can bring the dog back. He's earned his way back onto the podcast.
So
we have a guest tonight. It's Paxton's fart. It's just sitting here, hanging out with us.
It's in the room.
He went and got downstairs and got a drink and came back. He was gone for a minute, and then it came. Fro, what did it sound like when he farted? Do you remember the sound it made?
Briefly, it was a...
That was close enough.
Yeah.
Okay,
so I've regained a little bit of faith in humanity, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
What's your secret? You need to
So,
share this with the world.
So I'm driving around today, going to get. Well, I'll tell you what I'm drinking here in a second. And I see a car, and the car has "Just Married" written on the side window.
Okay.
I'm passing it. It's on a one-way street though, and I noticed that there's writing on the back, and I was like, I'm gonna go take a picture of this shit. So I get situated where I can drive by it again on this one-way street. I get to the back of the car. It says, "Just Married, Dave and Linda, in love forever 2022." Guess what wasn't on there?
What?
Venmo?
I kind of want to give them money now.
Was there a
For not
QR
doing
code
that.
on
There
there?
was no Venmo,
I
no
wanna give
Cash
them money
App,
for doing that.
Nope.
no QR code.
Oh.
People just telling you that they're married.
You
I
mean like-
salute you, Dave
Like
and
they used to do
Christy.
back in the day.
Was there
Yeah.
a Friendster?
No,
Anything?
there was literally
Friendster.
farmers only, none of that.
All right.
Literally, and I was like, wow.
That's
Good for the happy couple.
That's
Yeah.
rare.
Congratulations, Josh and
Best-
Lindsay. I still don't know. I
best
did
fucking
actually
way.
take a picture.
Let's just change it every time. Did you take a picture?
Yeah, I did take a picture. But it was terrible because right when I started pulling down the one-way street, a cop got behind me.
Oh.
So I was afraid to have my phone out, you know?
Maybe
Yeah.
he was trying to see what was on there, too.
Yeah, he was
I
like,
wonder
God,
if
like,
this was-
Goddamn Dave and Lindsay's begging for money out here.
Just keep it going, not saying their name to say it at any time point.
So
I'll
anyway,
disguise their names on the second half.
So I'll talk about my weekend here in a little bit, but first of all, shout out John Bremer and Rachel Heinley. They were in Ireland, which is another country that's not the U.S., and they brought us back some.
Why would you go anywhere else?
They brought us back some really nice whiskey, and we're gonna drink that next week. I'm not drinking it tonight because I had a hell of a weekend. So what I'm having tonight is a little cocktail called the Stay-at-Home Dad.
Ooh, tell me more.
Okay, so the Stay-at-Home Mom
Mm-hmm.
is a Chardonnay paired with a 1 milligram Xanax.
Decent.
Maybe one.
Yeah.
Maybe 10.
The Stay-at-Home Dad is a Felino 2020 Malbec paired with a 1 milligram Xanax.
Very nice.
So I took that about an hour ago, and I'm going to have this nice glass of wine.
Cheers.
Have a
I'm
nice chill
drinking
night.
something unusual.
Your classic emergency and vodka.
But I'm actually going to have a Moscow Mule in the second half, so I'll bring the bottle up here. We can talk about the...
Ooh, that was nice.
It's obviously relaxed your sphincter quite a bit.
It
That's
has,
for sure.
yeah.
How was the wine? Can I try the Felino?
Please,
I've had
please.
it before, but it's
Fillet it. Fillet the Felino.
Fillet the Felino.
So let me tell you about my weekend, because this is what's leading to me having a stay-at-home dad.
Okay.
Friday, I have a gig. Now, to protect the innocent...
This is turned.
It's what? Turd?
Turned. That's the description for
I'm
when wine goes bad.
I'm turned.
You turned up?
So,
Is it vinegary?
No, it's not. I was just trying to screw them. They just know what the damn term means. So
I'm turned. So to protect the innocent, I'm going to do like Clint and really disguise their names.
Okay.
So I went out to a place, a country-ass town in Georgia called Plio.
That could be a town in Georgia somewhere, too.
And it was at my buddy...
Why is that town innocent?
Let's call him Freddie's birthday party. So he's got a big piece of property out there.
I actually don't know this.
He's got a big piece of property out there, and he has like a camping music festival over an entire...
Have we been here before?
Huh?
Have we been there before?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've been there before. I've done a gig there before. So I'm playing with Jason Bible and Eric Dunn of the Trainwrecks. It was kind of like a reunion.
Good job of describing their name.
Yeah, reunion. No, they didn't do anything. It was me. I can't protect myself though. So I get there, and Plio is pretty far away from Tybee.
Is that where Plyometrics is from?
Yeah, and you lose service about 20 minutes out. So I knew this already. So whenever I rigged up my GPS, I went ahead and zoomed all the way out. Here's a life hack for you if you're going into. Go ahead and zoom all the way out so you see the entire map.
There you go.
It doesn't necessarily tell you each time to turn, but you see the route.
But
can
you know
also
that,
do
yeah.
that too.
Yeah,
you got
whatever.
the streets.
Yeah, I'm on them streets, cut.
That's what's up.
So
He's turned on wine on these streets.
yeah, so I get out there, and my set is supposed to be from 9 to 1 with a little break in between. And I get there, and the first band doesn't have a drummer.
Uh-oh.
So they were like, hey, do you want to play drums with us? And it was my buddy Kevin Slaris. It's Devin Harris. He didn't do anything. So it's my buddy Devin Harris. We play a set, probably an hour and a half. I'm just getting warm. So then I'm like, all right, now I'll have a second set. I can't find any liquor. Everyone's got Busch Light and Natural Light and whatever. I got to get drunk to play.
Or not drunk, but you get to
I
have,
got to
loosen
have
up.
a buzz to be loose.
Yeah.
So I put down like 4 Natty Lights and 3 Busch Lights, whatever. And I'm getting the worst heartburn.
Sounds like a plyo party to me.
Oh.
So do any of you guys practice MMA?
I mean, I wrestled in high school for years.
No.
Gotcha.
I box.
So whenever I'm at a festival playing drums, I practice MMDMA before I go.
Sure.
Gotcha.
So Molly mushrooms, drums, and
above.
dot.
Good stuff.
So I was using PEDs, and I was like, okay. So during my middle set, I felt fine. I was like, I'm energetic. I feel like I'm hugging myself between songs. So the Trainwrecks get done. Now it's time for Super Jam, which the only drummer there, I'm sort of responsible.
Oh.
So I essentially did like an 8-hour gig.
Oh my God.
Playing drums at a high level, not in terms of like high intensity level.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not Pantera, but you're still
You're
playing.
right, exactly. Yeah, it's still
I don't know
taxing
why I
on the
chose
body.
Pantera, but
So then I get done playing at like 3 a.m. and of course I keep partying afterwards.
weird.
So yeah, so I stayed up very late. Got up the next day. It took me so long to sweatily pack my drums up into my car and
I bet
leave.
that was fun.
Oh, super! That was great.
I
I loved it.
Nothing's more than a nice hangover in the sun, putting drums away.
Yeah, putting drums away.
At least it's October and not June.
It was summer 2.6 out there.
Did you smash a natty light?
Yeah,
So you can...
Did you collect all your sweat
right
and drink
before
it?
I got on the road?
Yep.
I tore down a Natty Light before I got on that road.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so I get on the road.
Don't
way
drink and
out,
drive, people.
on the way out, there's way more traffic than there was coming in. I didn't get back on Tybee till 3:30. I had to work at 5. Right.
Oh no.
Oh, man.
So I get back. I'll take a shower.
That explains your state when I saw you on Saturday.
Took a shower. I think it's going to be a pretty normal day. No, sir. It's Pirates Fest on Tybee, and we'll get into that a little bit later.
Oh, arg.
I walk in, I was like, oh, arg.
You wear your pirate garb? Do you always wear?
The only thing was, all the pirates are kind of sitting at tables, but that was the latest I've gotten out of there. So then I didn't get home until 3, didn't get to sleep till 5. The next day, I was like, oh, it's going to be fine. Went to work. Biggest redfish tournament in the Southeast with like a $10,000
Oh my God.
prize
I forgot about
for
that.
the winner.
And where do they end that and have the raffle and all that stuff?
Yeah, at
At
Huckapoo's.
Huckapoo's, yeah.
And it was already started when I walked in the door. And here's the worst part. I was a little late. I was running a little late. I left my house at 4:55. I drove my car there because I was being lazy. I got there. I couldn't even park within a mile of Huckapoo.
You parked at your front of your house.
So I drove back to my house and got on my bike
Oh my.
and came up to work.
So you're 50 minutes late
I'm
to work.
20 minutes late now
And you're
on
sweaty.
the worst day. So Alex texted me. He goes, hey, you coming in, buddy? As I was walking in the door.
No, I'm looking for my.
This
pink lighter.
guy forgot. So he was in the night before and he was getting pretty lit. And he had forgotten that he promised that he would do food run at the Crab Shack on a Sunday night. Which, if you're not familiar with the Crab Shack, during
It's a
Pirates
big
Fest
place.
and food running when
And
you don't
Pirates Fest
actually
is
work
very
there.
popular there.
Oh my God.
I was like, well,
Well,
God
we used to work there,
bless.
so we knows the tables and
Yeah.
stuff.
I was like, so God bless. So that's why I'm feeling. And
Who was doing that? Alex.
Alex,
Alex.
yeah,
Oh yeah. Wow.
former co-host of this podcast, and so that turns to everyone says like big crowds. They think that big crowds equal big money. You know what I mean? So, my Darren in the second half is going to be sort of in that vein of the people that go, oh man, look how much business we brought you.
So people don't understand that. So what happens when you have these fundraising events or these, after the poker runs, after all that stuff, while there is an influx of money, people have to remember no one's leaving, so no one can come.
There's no turnover.
There's a turnover, so people are sitting forever. And like while they're drinking, you can only drink so much before you pass out on the porch, Mike. And then you're just in hell. So you're sitting there.
That's a tragic story, man.
Yes, exactly. Hence the name. So, but it's not like people are coming and going. Like a regular Saturday night, you have a lot of turnover.
Right.
So, was it lucrative?
No, well,
Mildly?
so okay, here's the
And
thing.
Redfish tournament, not that could be the biggest tipping group.
No, and then
Unless
the
you get
guy
like a Rob
who won,
Kismet kind of guy, but he didn't do
the guy who won the money.
Yeah. The redfish tournament.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Redfish Randy?
He had his card hanging at my bar, and by the time I closed, he was nowhere to be found. I'm about halfway done closing last night. Stephanie goes, "Hey, you got a card for so and so?" I go, "Yeah, he's here." And then she takes the card and never comes back. So he better have tipped her real well. But so Saturday, here's the thing. Saturday, you were there for a little bit.
I showed up a little bit. Thank you.
We were busy.
Comp and asked Terry and V for making me come out there.
I sold more by 8 o'clock on Saturday
All Sunday.
than all of Sunday. Because when they have these like events there, it doesn't matter how many people are there. They're less likely to drink as much and tip as much. Because one, you can't get to the bar.
Also, and if you've been out fishing all day, you've already been drinking.
Yeah.
So you're and it's a beer crowd, I'm sure. You've already been drinking, and you're tired because you've been fishing all day in the sun, so you're not going to be there very long.
Yeah.
Because Saturday was busy.
Saturday was crazy.
It was crunk. We got there at 11:30.
Yeah.
And it was very
the latest
turned
I've left.
up, as you would say.
I was turned. That's the latest I've left in forever. But made some money. It was fine.
You actually sat and talked to us after work for a few more minutes, which I thought was bizarre.
Yeah, I was gonna go to the Windrose, but then I was just like, never mind.
God, I didn't want to go anywhere else but home. But
how did your Saturday go?
I had a great time.
When I saw you.
You know how my Saturday went?
Yeah.
We're back, kicking ass. I don't care where we're ranked. I know what it is. I'm not even going to say it. But slow first quarter, and then just see the two beat the living piss out of Auburn. Nice big victory, cover the spread. Big celebration between the hedges. Nice, smooth. They're probably going to fire their coach next week because of this.
Do they have a tendency to do that, like one loss?
And the Braves still kick ass. They clinched.
Oh yeah.
Before our podcast last week, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I promise I'll
game
start clenching
one
my
tomorrow
cheeks.
at 1:08.
Please. And thank
because
you.
why can't a baseball game start at any time? Or it's 1:07.
Yeah, 1:07. I was about
And
to say
then, and then Wednesday's like 4:33. I'm like, what? And what are these times?
Yeah.
What are these arbitrary, random times?
And you know that it's only when it's on TBS that it has those weird times?
Nope, it used to just be like that. Now TBS used to start on the 5. at 4:05 or 4:35.
Oh, gotcha.
Because Ted Turner had this idea that if you did that, you would get people to stay or to turn to your channel when other channels were switching over. At like 4:57, you would still have your show on for another 6 minutes. So they could turn to your channel and then they would stay on your channel because you're off the hour. But no, now it's like, because it's Fox is the game on Tuesday.
So back in some Savannah news, I got a notification today. Shout out Wayne Millard. He sent me, so I glanced over it on Facebook, but New Realm Brewery here in Savannah abruptly shut down.
Abruptly.
Like, they showed up for work and there was a sign?
It's sort of, so I haven't got all the information on it, but he did send me this post, and it's from their, let's see, okay, Ashley Reitz.
Oh, all right.
All right. She's the coordinator. She's like their event coordinator. Hello, everyone. My name is Ashley, and I am, or was, the event coordinator for New Realm Brewing. As many of you have already heard, we close effective today. Please believe me when I say this was a shock for me to find out. I had no idea this was happening until just this morning. I literally worked a vendor table for New Realm yesterday at the Georgia Bridal Show. With that being said, the most important thing for me right now is trying to find locations to accommodate many rehearsal dinners and wedding receptions I have booked through the end of this year. If anyone has any available space, Here's how many in October that were supposed to be booked.
Just October.
Just October.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 11.
Oh, my God.
11 bridal showers, wedding parties, whatever. This lady has to find other venues for.
Left them in the lurch like that, huh?
I mean, so getting to work and finding out you're closed is unfortunately a common business practice, but damn.
Having that much on the books.
Why do you think that is?
What?
Did they do that?
Well,
because I mean, as an employee, you're responsible, supposedly, to give a 2-week notice to be, get a good review for your next.
Well, what are you going to do? Quit? I mean, it's already over.
I know, but I mean,
it's over at that point. You can't really do anything about it. I mean,
I don't want to be speculative or anything like that, but
the thing is, it's not just a Savannah location. They've got the breweries in like Virginia, I think.
I don't know that.
There's Atlanta location. I was just looking up. There's Atlanta locations and some other stuff. So there's not just here.
So
my point is,
but just this location closed.
Why not the reciprocity of giving your employees at least a 2-week notice? That's what I'm saying.
That's why you're an asshole. I agree with you. That should be done, but people are dicks.
And
businesses are dicks.
Yeah. And you could possibly have been working there for like a month or two because they probably had a lot of turnover. Because I don't think that they were that
wasn't that
popular or successful. I've never even walked in the door.
I've never been there once.
So they might have been like, F these people. We're just going to close. Who cares about them? They haven't been long-term employees. But this young lady, Ashley Reese, who obviously was very good at her job, if she, between October 13th and the rest of the month, she had 11 bookings.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can get her a job too. We did so well with Caitlin.
I know.
She's got a job right now. I'll find all that. So, Ghost Coast closed about a month and a half ago, and so they opened New Realms. Got like the Atlanta one. It was like an eatery and brewery, so they opened one here. Thought they were too big to fail, and apparently it happened. But like Jesse Blanco, who does Eater to Like It, which is a local reviewer of restaurants and stuff, said he was not surprised because it just after Ghost Coast closed, like he would go by there. So there's not a lot of people in there all the time. But this is a different market than Atlanta too.
Well, one quick question about that: weren't they tied in with the new hockey team?
I don't know anything about their brand. Like I said, I don't drink a lot of beer.
The Ghost Pirates?
Yeah.
Isn't that?
I know
Ghost
they were.
Coast, you mean?
Yeah, the Ghost. Yeah, Ghost Coast. That's where they.
Well, you can do some research real quick while
that's
I talk
where
about
they
this,
did
and you can figure
the
that out.
launch for Ghost
But
Pirates.
here's the thing: location doesn't help. There wasn't the best location, and like every now and then, people try to get open breweries here, and they're just not catching on. Like it's a different kind of experience to go to a brewery and drink.
Sure.
Because you just drink beer. As
And
people on
be a
Facebook
food
were very
truck
smart. They
outlet.
were like, it was hard to get a glass of wine in there. Was it hard to get wine at the
At
beer
a
place?
At the brewery. I know Two Tides is doing pretty well. They're
But they're local only.
yeah, and their proximity to the Starling Yard is really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a great location.
You know how
for
many
them.
people live
And they
in
haven't
Savannah?
overstretched themselves, but New Realm has multiple locations, and they just overexpanded into a
Gotcha.
saturated market where there's tons of restaurants and bars downtown. And Savannah's a drinking city.
And there's a lot of breweries already.
There's a lot of breweries already, and it's just not. it's not just beer. It's just beer. So people want to drink liquor and stuff.
And
it's
some
like Ghost Coast had liquor.
Some people say that location's like kind of cursed or whatever, but like
talking about Ghost Coast?
No. We're New Rome.
New Rome, yeah.
But and I do kind of believe that's true because where Chamaco's on Tybee has moved from, it was where the old social club was.
Yeah,
it had failed at everything that it was.
It did pretty good. What was it, the Aura House for a long time?
Yeah,
I mean, it was nasty.
But it changed owners
seafood,
like 4 times.
The Ore House was closed a long time ago.
Yeah, but that's just one in many of the failed businesses there.
But, but Chamaco succeeded enough to move to a bigger location.
Yeah, well, Chamaco, because they're smart and they're good dudes.
And they didn't fry rats.
The parking really sucks there.
It does
That's a major
there.
issue.
So that's what Jesse Blanco was saying about Ghost Coast and New Realm closing down is, you can't just survive on tourists alone in Savannah. Some places do,
right,
but you have to be very well established to do that.
And you have to be on River Street charging $10
or the Pink
for a
House.
crab cake.
But the thing is, locals keep you alive. Like our business is probably 60% tourism, but those 40% locals come in a lot, and so that helps. But here's the thing: is Wilmington Island going to come downtown, pay for parking? You have to park until 8 o'clock now. It's hard to find parking, as you just mentioned.
Fighting for parking
to pay $10 for a beer when you can go to Dub's Pub and pay half the price right down the street. It's just thing is just they were charging a lot of money, and getting people to come from off downtown to downtown. Yeah. It's got to be a very special occasion, or they have to have company in town.
And if you're not ultra local, like the reason Southbound did so well.
And it still does because it's local.
Local. And people are like, I want to support that. Service.
They
had the boon of being
Moon River.
Veteran.
Moon River's been around forever.
Military veterans and starting a brewery.
Double goodie there.
That's what I'm saying.
We sell Moon River IPAs at Circa and have to be open because it's right down the street from us. Yeah. And I've made the joke a few times. Oh, the keg's tap, we're going to get one and roll it down the street. And the guy's like, how long is that going to take? Like, we're not going to roll beer down the street and then hook it up to a tap or it's going to explode and shoot beer everywhere.
So happy birthday to Scott Marshall. I'm not sure if he listens to this, but he opened the old Alley Cat Lounge downtown. And he hasn't drank for 3 years, so I saw him for the first time the other night.
I love Scott.
Man, I love Scott so much.
Good guy.
He comes in, he goes, hell, I didn't even see him. I heard his voice, and he always greets me the same way. He goes, hey, handsome. Hey, and I turned around, I was like, Scott goddamn Marshall. And I went and hugged him, and I haven't seen him forever. And I
want
said,
to tell a Scott Marshall story, but I don't know if I can.
And I was like, let me buy you a beer. He goes, I haven't drank in 3 years. I was like, is that why I haven't seen you? He goes, yeah.
So he and I dated the same girl.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just call her
a thruple. Not just a couple, a thruple.
But she had it was the longest I ever dated a girl was this girl.
Not at the same time.
So no. So we broke. So when she and I broke up for the 7th time or whatever the hell, the final nail in the coffin was, because I just kept trying to help her grow and she couldn't. Anyways, that's not important. So she hated me, but she's the kind of girl that she's not friends with any of her exes.
Shocker.
She hates all of her exes.
Oh yeah.
I'm friends with every ex but her and like 2 or 3 that I choose not to be. But every other ex I'm super friendly with.
And Larry, he was an asshole.
Larry, yeah. He always got a loose asshole. That's why we're ex. Should have ate him. So, anyways, they were dating for a couple months or whatever, and I had never met him, but I'd heard nothing but great things about Scott. And so it's Picnic in the Park, which is in October.
Yeah.
It used to be on Sunday, but F.U. Savannah for doing it on Saturday this year. How was that turnout? Because all the service industry people didn't get to go because it was on a Saturday night. I thought it was so fun for a Sunday. It would be a lot of service industry tents. So like our restaurant didn't go. 45 Bistro, all the places that have been there for years and years and years didn't go. Anyways, so as it happens in the fall, there is football games going on Sundays. So it's a Cowboys-Broncos game. I'm wearing my Cowboys jersey. I can't get it's back. This is a long time ago, so self-reception would be when the crowded area would go to shit. So I go in the royal restroom to pee, and the game is playing on the speakers in the restroom.
Oh, that's nice.
So I am just now hanging out in the bathroom because it was like a super close back and forth game. Romo threw like 7 touchdowns that game. I had been checking the scores updates, but I was like, oh, it's great. I'm just kind of chilling in the bathroom. Shay walks in to pee. He was like, oh, hey, I want you to meet somebody. Scott Marshall's outside. So I go out there and talk to him. Now she is in the bathroom, and so he and I hug as I'm friendly. He's friendly. We're both huggers. So she walks out. And he and I are arm in arm.
Oh, boy.
And she goes, no. And he goes, oops. I am in a lot of trouble, but it can't get worse. And he gives me a big hug. He goes, great to meet you. We'll catch up soon. So she is livid because I'm the recent ex. So that was like when I was dating her, like the recent ex was the biggest devil. So sure, I'm Baltimore. And like, she's just, and Shay's like, and I'm just, I always wave at her. She hates me. Because I wave at her, and I want to be, I would be friendly with her if she wasn't such a fucking cunt. But she is. If anyone that knows her is like, oh, that's the apt way to describe her. She's either fun or on the other side.
Yeah.
So
and you were the most recent ex, so you were the.
And we did it. It was her and mine both longest relationship. So,
and
but she wanted to like have kids and get married. And I was
you're
like,
the heel that never
crazy.
wounded.
Yes. Getting rid of her was harder than a woodpecker's lips. but anyways,
bringing it around.
When they broke up, he and I became. I mean, we were friends anyway. Friendly anyway.
Well, he's such a good.
He's such a good guy.
Yeah.
And look. He's a great guy. He couldn't make it work with her. I'm a great guy. Nothing bad to say about me at all. So obviously, I've never been mean to a person in my life. Hey girl. So, anyways, he opened a restaurant downtown, or that bar downtown that did very well.
Yeah.
And then sold it. I think got out while the getting was good.
Yeah. I think it was a bad situation for him, but so
yeah. Well, it's hard to own a bar and be sober.
Oh yeah.
Real hard. Harder than
a woodpecker's cock.
Woodpecker's what?
A woodcocker's peck. I knew it. I knew I'd get it. I knew I'd get it.
A woodcocker's peck.
Are they switched back and forth now?
Yeah.
All right, I'll fix them.
That's what's.
That's what's going on.
I seem frustrated over there.
But so the comments
Mighty DHC
on
is
back to
going
where we
wild.
were at with New Realm.
Yeah.
The comment sections are that's where you go to find information you wouldn't find elsewhere.
Sure.
Like we just talked about this huge build outs, massive overhead, not making the nut after a set amount of years. Investor owner pulled the plug of chasing accolades. But 1 year is an itchy trigger pull. Like it's only been 1 year. But as Jesse mentioned, he's like, look, I went there. He gets to place a couple tries. That's his job.
Sure.
He goes, the only thing I liked on the menu was the chicken wings, and they weren't that outstanding. The beers were double the price they are down the street at Dub's Pub, who has better chicken wings.
Yeah.
So you're paying for the experience, and it wasn't that much of an experience.
Yeah, they weren't taking you on a tour or anything.
And he goes,
right?
I know. Yeah, he goes, I know it's a crazy busy downtown district with a lot of restaurants and bars opening. He goes, but he says that he has on his list 14 new places that are going to open up in the next year.
Oh Jesus!
Holy crap!
And have you seen New Realm?
Yeah, from the outside.
From the outside. It's dark bricks with a dark sign. It does not look like a brew pub.
It's not inviting.
You can't see the barrels through the window. None of now. It's not their fault that they, that was the building they could get or whatever. But the aesthetic doesn't look like, Moon River. You walk by the front of Moon River, see the big barrels. Hopatomica. You walk in, you see all the big barrels back there. They make good pizza.
Oh damn! They owned the building too.
They own the building.
They own the building, so they're going to they'll make a profit on the building alone.
Wow!
But like, what's usually good in the situation? So, like, there's that. It was supposed to be a brewery across from Wes's place with all the gold everywhere on the corner of State. Usually Larry's Giant Subs.
Yeah.
Where I ate twice a week. That place was like they put like $6 million into building up this brewery and this nice steakhouse.
Yeah.
And all that, and it failed because it was terrible. Like I don't know if the food was good, but we went there. Me, my chef, and the GM of Circle all went down there like the first week they were, or the second week they were open. Sit at the bar at like 9:30 at night. Walk down there to have a drink. We're the only people in the building. We sit down, talk to them. Before we even get drinks, the bartender has the GM's card and the chef's card on the bar. Hey, we were right down the street. We wanted to come patronize you guys. Check it out. You now know GM and chef down the street and head server. Terrible service. We ordered 3 beers and 3 shots. We get 2 of the beers, and he's talking to us, and he starts talking to somebody back and walks away, and we're like, hey, can I get my beer? He's like, oh yeah, I got you. Sorry about that. He didn't have to go change keg or anything. And on those shots, he's like, oh yeah. It was a terrible experience.
Was it a shitty bartender?
Shitty bartender.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if I'm bartending and a nearby business that could send us business comes in, you schmooze.
Yeah.
But we said that in order to invite them to schmooze, not because we wanted to get.
No, you weren't trying to big time.
We want to help them.
Just be like, hey, man.
Yeah. So when that happens, you go in the back and get your chef or general manager because one of them is there because you just opened in the last couple of weeks, so they're there a lot. And be like, hey, you guys should come out here and talk.
You don't
to
think
them.
it was just like a new joint, Cinderella period? They're just not very.
There was nobody in there but us.
Oh wow!
No, here's the thing. So here's something that it's a truism.
Yeah.
If I'm busy, like 80% busy, I don't forget shit that people are having. If I've got like 5 customers, I forget so much more stuff because my rhythm is off.
Oh, dude, I think I told you this past week. I waited on less customers in 3 shifts than I have in a single shift before.
Yeah,
because we're slammed this week. Then, like we had more on the books for Tuesday night last Tuesday than we did all Tuesday and Wednesday combined. So I guess season just got delayed a month this year somehow.
Does that mess with your head though?
But
Like,
it's not just us either.
is it being nice and busy? You're like you get.
I have to be in rhythm.
I have to be in a rhythm.
And I keep spreadsheets of my money I make every day. So I look at the last previous years. Now, COVID screwed up my rhythm of that. But my 2017, 18, 19 money, I'm down like a substantial, I'm down like 30% this month.
Really?
About September in earnings. And it sucks because I'm in the primo section. So I'm doing the best.
Oh, right.
And I'm still not covering. So I can't imagine what the other servers are going through. But we have the guy that works at another restaurant at St. Neo's Brasserie. He came in the other night, like, we had it on 2 tables. Like, it's not just us that's slow.
Yeah.
Like, the Pink House Vicks are still busy because they're factories, but it's just weird that
I'm just trying to give
even
this guy an
River
out.
House is slow.
I'm trying to give this bartender an out. For
he was
some
just a terrible. He was a bad bartender. He didn't have good sense, and he was grown. Like, he was older than me.
And he might not have been in the industry long. He might have been one of their cousins or something. And if it's slow,
That's
I
possible.
suck if it's
Poured
slow.
a great beer though, so I mean, you know.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
suck
but
if it's
you're right though.
slow.
When it's slow, but the thing is, at a bar, it's a little different, especially when you
True.
have this.
Yeah.
But like when it's slow, I make mistakes. I don't ever make mistakes. I don't write anything down really. So like, I'll just get distracted because I'm bored. We've been talking about whatever the hell.
Well, see, if I'm slow at a bar,
There's too much new.
If I'm slow at my bar, I can see everyone. Now, when I work tables on Thursdays, I can't see all the tables.
Yeah.
So it's easy to.
I have a theory.
Yeah.
ADHD,
No, MMDMA.
MMD. Yeah.
Are you
So-
asking me if I have ADHD?
That wasn't even. That was just I'm
There's
pointing at you
50
because
people
I know
I know
that's
going,
true.
come on, bro.
I think it's because when you're slow like that, you can focus too much on other extraneous bullshit, and you're not in your run and gun zone.
Sure.
And I think that has a lot to do with it because I had the same issues as well.
But I've never been diagnosed ADHD or anything.
But I think you do.
But you think so?
I think you do.
So you're convoluting the two. I think ADD maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little ADD, but neither one of you are hyper.
No, I'm
I
So you're
forgot
just
that.
ADD, not the
yeah,
HD.
and there's different aspects
My
of that as
HD
well.
is in HD.
yeah,
4K.
yeah, he's,
So we had a friend in town.
I'm
4K.
720p over here.
Shout out to Courtney. She was in town from heck is where the hell she lives. She hadn't seen me in 10 years, and so hook up Saturday night. I swear I ran into her. I'm like, hey, how are you? We start talking. She's like, are you okay? And I'm like, what? She's like, are you on something? I was like, nah, this is me. She's like, oh, I just kind of forgot. I'm like, yeah. V's like, no, this is how he always is. And Charlotte is. You just even in the mornings, it's worse. Like, she was like,
This is after 5
but, you know,
Tito's and water.
if you haven't seen me in 10 years,
Yeah.
like, people I used to go to school with see me, and they're like, are you on drugs? And I'm like, no. Remember when in school I was worse than this? And they're like, well, weren't you going to grow out of that? I'm like, that's what the doctors told me. And guess what? They were wrong.
lied.
Because I've done my own research, and I'm hyper as shit all the damn time. And so people constantly are like, hey, let me, I'm like, it's just me. Sorry.
Yeah.
You can have some blood. But so it took her like a good 30 minutes of talking to me to be like, okay, it's coming back now. I can keep up.
My phone ran out of memory, so I thought that Spotify quit doing video.
This is fantastic. Hilarious.
So I was like, hey, man, I don't know why our videos aren't, but I just needed more
He
space.
messages me. I'm like laying in bed, like I'm the sound machine on. I am at like full phone on zero brightness and blue light, so I can just. I'm reading a book on my phone, so I can fall asleep. And you message me that, and I'm like, oh shit. So I perk up. So when you download Spotify, you don't change your settings. It downloads a video if the video is available.
Yeah.
I listen to Rogan on Spotify.
Yep.
Those are 3-hour podcasts. 5 of those, and your phone is full.
phone is
And they're
pretty
HD.
full. Yeah.
So I don't do the video downloading. So I had to turn it on and check it.
Yeah.
And you're like, Rogan didn't record this week either. And I was like, Paxton problem. So
Yeah, he took a week off.
so our technical director here called me, or messaged me, and I figured it out pretty quickly. I was like, I think you just have your phones full of memory. So he was like, oh, he was sweating because there was no video. And I was like, here's the video right here.
I was like, it went on YouTube fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I had.
So back to one more New Realm
Yeah.
ism. So I just, because these comments are just hilarious. The service was terrible. Can't get this. People were rude. And it said, I want to read this verbatim because it's good. Thank you, Scott Carroll. Cassie, whatever. It was a case of hipsters not wanting to wait on either locals or tourists because they were far too cool to do so. The food clearly was an afterthought, almost like a bar that needs to serve a certain amount of food to be able to stay open on Sundays. And that last line
Nailed it.
is what it is. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're talking about changing that law to make it more difficult to be open on Sundays, which I think is bullshit, and you're going to lose your re-election campaign. Mayor Van Johnson,
Is
he's
it what was it? 51% of your sales have to come from food, kind of thing.
51%. I mean, dude, Mercury Lounge is open on Sundays.
Dude, you know why?
You know what they sold? Hot dogs, and barely ever.
They ring up every Bud Light as a BLT sandwich. Bud Light BLT. That's what they got.
You doxed them, dude.
I would fudge the numbers.
They're going to be shut down tomorrow.
Right.
Still.
I would
Mercury
fudge the
Lounge?
numbers if I had to.
Yeah,
man.
but so like social is like there's no way social. Sorry, Vinny, you're not listening anyways. There's no way social does 51% of their business in food. They do a ton though because you can get
You
burgers
got
on
that
the
nice
street.
little outdoor thing.
So they do a lot of food, and it's
Yeah.
a pretty basic menu. And they're good. It's good food. Gil does a
Yeah.
great job with the food there. But there's places that are open on Sunday where I'm like, man, come on with that bullshit. You ain't
I'd rather them just take the rule away. Like, let them be open on Sunday.
That's the thing. We've already gotten rid of we already had the brunch rule, so you can serve alcohol at 11. How about this?
Yeah.
I know our founding fathers were against drinking on Sundays. No. Sam Adams wasn't.
Also, who cares?
Also, who cares? Just let everybody be open.
They were also into owning slaves.
They do want to make it more. I'm okay with like the full up clubs, like 57 degrees, where temperature that place is.
Yeah.
I get those not being open, but Barrel House should be able to be open on Sunday.
Yeah.
And
maybe, have music.
Maybe not. Maybe they could do it on like a how many police calls you get a month thing.
If you're under 20, yeah.
So sorry to Spencer, one of our ex guests on here. He works at the Treehouse. They shouldn't be open on Sundays because people get shot there and there's fights. People yell at you almost every time you walk by. They're like, "Hey, run it down."
Was the brass rail right there on across from the Rock House? They used to have a little lonely hot dog going in the machine.
Oh, it wasn't the brass rail, but yeah, I know
what you mean.
Before that, it was
Kitten's Corner.
No, Kitten's Corner was the Rock House.
It was literally a late night hot dog spot.
Yeah,
and all they sold was like corn dogs and hot dogs, and they didn't open until like midnight or something.
Oh yeah.
It was a really good idea.
All right, if you're from Tybee, let us know that.
Yeah.
You can comment on our YouTube video, my sirs, and a comment. Funniest comment will win.
We're gonna let this go another. Yeah.
So we come back at the break. We'll read to you the 2 comments we got, and both those people are going to get a Grant Nelson print because they followed directions. But we're going to give you guys
another week
on that video. Because I know some of you don't listen every week.
Where you can win your own.
You can win your own, make your own comment, or on this week's video. Because comment, my sirs, we'll be giving away last week's video and this week's video. We'll get a print also. Just comment, like, subscribe. We are at, we're not anymore. Now we're at 71, but we were at 69 subscribers for a minute there.
There you go.
Nice.
So it really helps us out. Even if you don't watch on YouTube, just hit the subscribe button.
I don't.
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram.
Get that algorithm going.
Well, just
that's weird because our numbers are good elsewhere, but YouTube is
slow.
It's what gets you.
Yeah.
It's how you get somewhere is you get to YouTube.
Yeah.
And on YouTube, they do have the 0.75 setting where you can slow Clint's voice down.
You can understand him.
Oh, well, that was when I was talking about Spotify.
What
so
do
I'm going
you
through
mean?
that panic attack. Like, the video's not loaded. And I accidentally hit 1.5 and didn't notice it.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, boy.
Clint was off to the races. It's
have a
like
seizure?
beef. We'll see y'all in the second half.
Boink. There they are. Bag up, Terry. Put in reverse, Terry. Put in reverse. Oh, Lord, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. What you doing, Terry? Terry,
What you doing, Terry?
Shout out to our newest Patreon subscriber, Compton Ass Terry, backing it up all over the place Saturday night. Had a great time with him. So we were in the cab on the way to Tybee. It's a deep cab. It's Rob started drinking before the Georgia game. Sydney started drinking because the Indians were playing a 15-inning baseball game on the main TV of the house, and Rob was nice enough to let Sydney watch her entire game while he and I watched ours outside. And then when the game ended, Rob, I love Rob. There's 10 seconds left in the first half of the Georgia game. He changes it during the celebration of them winning from her. She's like, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "Yo, man, that is kind of messed up, but it's funny." So we've had a few. Terry comes to Savannah around 9:30. Charlotte, Terry, myself, and Rob and Sydney are in an Uber going to Takapoo's against my will. And Sydney goes, "Hey, Terry, have you ever heard the backup Terry thing?" And I'm like, "Do you think he's heard this?" Everyone named Terry hates this. Just like everyone named Clint gets on their birthday every year that cake that says "Happy Birthday, Cunt." And I don't know why I thought that was following. Sorry, back up, Clint. But every birthday I get that, or like there's a Starbucks one where it says "Cunt" to the Clint.
And you're a kind guy.
Yeah, so Terry, every 4th of July,
Yeah.
and on his birthday, gets Back Up Terry videos. And so we had to play the video first, because he was like calling him Spin Around Terry. I'm like, no, it's Back Up Terry.
Back Up Terry.
He's like, no, it's Spin Around. I'm like, no, it's Back Up.
It's Back Up Terry.
Terry needed to back up. Speaking of backing up, so
Hey,
what happened
interesting
was-
side note about that Terry
it
guy.
might be a picture, it might be a quote, or just an interesting anecdote, but as always, Jeff's interesting side note. Boom.
So yeah, the Terry guy, he actually turned out pretty well from that whole that video.
Oh, did he?
Nah, yeah, he got a the manufacturer of the wheelchair actually saw the video, recognized it was one of their chairs, sent him a brand new chair, and then on the GoFundMe page, he got a nice little check, $32,000 plus, which is not bad.
Imagine all the fireworks you could buy.
I'll
with
get
that.
shut up with fireworks for that.
Imagine how much
nice.
pho you could buy with that.
Wait,
So
wait,
much
back up your
pho.
service, though.
Yeah.
Hey! Just imagine how much pho I could buy with that, and toilet paper.
How much pho could you buy with that?
How much? How much fuck could a wood cunt chuck if a wood cunt?
Whoa.
So Saigon Bistro.
So, back to health scores again. So
Jesus.
Guess
This is
what?
one of our favorite topics. now.
yes, health scores. So I get a message from Vinny King because he is so excited to send this to me on Tuesday morning. He's like,
Steady
check out this
stream.
Saigon Bistro health score. I'm like, 63.
Just pissing right in your cornflakes.
Yeah, I'm pissing right on my ass flakes.
Oof.
So, I read, if I go to the restaurant, I read the full report. Or if I'm going to dox them on the podcast, like Taka with their 51 to 69. Nice. I send it to all my friends that eat there. And that's, if you ask me about pho, that's where I say they have the best broth in Savannah.
Yeah.
Boomie's best overall ingredients. I don't have to add as much, but Saigon Bistro, I add a bunch of stuff. So I send this to Rob and,
Anyone who's a regular.
Anyone's a regular there. And one of my friends, we'll just call him Peter, too. This is his real name. His best
Nice
friend
docs.
works at Taka, or it has on and off for years, is like the sushi chef. And so he's like, no, his Taka stuff wasn't food. I'm like, incorrect, because I read the reports,
Yeah.
both of them.
That was bad.
You don't get down to 51 with just like missing trash bags and trash
Or
cans.
light fixtures not
Yeah,
being,
you get 51 with rotten seaweed, which is what one of the problems was. But
Oh, wow.
so Taka's was, Saigon Bistro's was not
Yeah.
good. It was like dirty utensils in drawers.
So they give you the full breakdown of
Yeah, you can read the
Okay.
full report.
All the hits.
And it's like
Yeah.
mold under the cutting boards. One that you're okay with, and that I am too.
Okay.
No gloves on a person in the kitchen,
Okay, yeah.
like squeezing limes with their bare hand.
Yeah, sure, exactly.
So I'm like, well, as this goes, Timmy Wong got the text from Rob about the Saigon Bistro. He goes, "Oh yeah, I'm going today then." Like you send him the score, and he goes, "I spit in the face of this diarrhea coming to me."
Well,
and goes, what? You can't fuck up dog meat and broth.
Well, you know it's going to be super clean after that.
So that's
score.
my thing.
That's the best
After-
score it's ever going to get. is after that.
You would think, but Taka went only up to 69. So I don't know.
It's 12% improvement.
All right,
So I
go.
get pho every Sunday usually because I get hungover from my Saturday night football days. So
Sunday
I
pho
literally
day.
subscribe to Grubhub.
Oh, yeah.
Monthly Grubhub because they deliver Saigon Bistro to my house. That is the reason I get that. Because, like, look, the cost of that a month is like $10.
Yeah.
If I drive to get it, I save $4.
Yeah.
But what's an hour and a half of hangover driving?
Yeah.
It's worth more than $10.
That's a lot.
It's
Every
like people
time.
getting Netflix just for Stranger Things or something. Like
Yes.
yeah.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
the debacle has arisen. Clint is, as you guessed from being at Huckapoo's until 2 a.m. on Saturday, hungover as yesterday. And I was like, well, hungover, I'm not thinking right. I get a little stoned, a lot stoned, super stoned. I smoked, you ever smoked, well, you have it, Moon Rocks? It's like, it's, I'm going to get this wrong and Rob's going to get mad, which is good.
I've had the Moon candy bars.
I think Moon
infused-
Rocks is wax rolled in keef.
Oof.
So it's like super concentrated.
Ooh.
And so I've had I don't know, like a gram bag of this for like a year because you
don't need a lot.
well, I don't need a lot.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
people need a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, put that on the bowl and you were on the freaking moon. So I smoked the Moon Rocks and my brain goes, I mean, how bad could it be? You've got a bidet.
Oh,
You can
Lord.
get through this, right? So I ordered the Saigon Bistro, and there it still sits in my fridge because I couldn't eat it.
And
It's just sitting there.
So you know why he's waiting to eat it?
He's waiting for that score to go up, so then it's safe
Then
to
he
eat.
can pull it
Then I
out.
can eat it.
Yeah,
You
then
can
it's
pull
good.
it out
Score
of the
goes up, it's
fridge.
fine.
Hey, they got a 93. I can eat it now.
I got that 93. It's a peace of mind. Here's the thing. So you asked this. I'm not, when I eat the pho 9 out of 10 times, I'm hungover. I've done bad things to my body. So my system isn't on point. My turn scale is wrecked.
So you don't know if it's chicken or egg.
So I don't know what caused the repercussions of the next day's
What caused
movement.
my gastric flush?
Yes, my system flush. So, but I got a bidet, so I can get through this, right?
Well, that's the
You
thing.
can weather any storm.
Well, a bidet doesn't cure amoebic dysentery.
No, but it washes off real well.
And it saves you money in toilet paper.
Yeah, you don't have to wipe 1,000 times.
True. I had the Sharpie marker wipe the other day.
Oh, it just keeps going and going.
Nothing I could do. I was
ghost shits.
literally fingering
That's
myself.
called a hemorrhoid. That's a hemorrhoid.
God damn it.
Congratulations, you got a hemorrhoid.
You know
Do what Bert does.
that?
You just roll up toilet paper and stick it in there. He like tampons
Like a
himself.
plug it? Like a
I
little-
think that's what Bert Kreischer does. He sticks a tampon in there.
They make a really nice portable bidet that you can take with
You
you.
mean a water bottle?
Water gun?
No, it's very similar.
Super
It's
sucker?
got a battery and a little motor, and you fill it up, and you can use it right there, and it works great. I use that for a long
I've
time.
had the same bidet since
really?
the pandemic
They're nice.
started. Because I've always wanted to get one, and I'd never used one. I bought one, never used it. It was like, oh, this is the truth.
Did you get it from listening to a certain podcast that
I bought the
advertised them?
second cheapest one they had on Amazon is what I bought. Because at the time, in April 2020, the bidets were a hot commodity.
Yeah.
So like on Amazon, a pro tip people out there, if something's out of stock, look at it every 5 minutes and update, and it'll come back. Like, same thing I'll order on from Sam's. It'll be like out of stock. I'll update it 2 or 3 times, and then it's back in stock.
Yeah.
So just the one I could get is the one I got. But since then, I have sent them as gifts, like I did to Grant, and Grant was like, "Did you just?" I talked about this in the podcast. Did you send me a bidet? I was like, "Yeah."
Damn.
A bidet and a squatty potty is probably the
man.
most amazing
Here's
combination
the
on
thing.
the
Squatty
planet.
potty is an expensive stool. No pun intended.
It does make a difference because it gets your legs at just
your
the right
almond
angle.
No, I'm saying you could create your own.
You could do the
How much
same
is a
thing.
squatty potty?
$13.
Oh,
Yeah, they're
never
not.
mind.
They're
I don't
not.
care
Yeah.
then.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
send
they
them
have
gifts all the
nice
time.
ones that are wood. You know, if you really want to go.
I like to
bougie.
like bamboo. I gave
Bougie
V a
poopy.
nice bamboo one.
Yeah.
But I like to give them as gifts. Squatty potties and bidets. I care about my friends' asses.
They're nice.
So-
He doesn't care about my ass. I don't see a bidet down there.
When I went
Oh,
to
you haven't had a
Vietnam,
birthday in 3 years.
when I went to Vietnam and they used the hole
Yeah.
in the ground,
I bet-
absolutely the best poops I've ever
I was
had in
gonna
my
say,
life,
yeah.
dude.
Speaking of Saigon
100%.
Bistro.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I've discussed this many times.
Yeah.
I like to poop at the home throne because it's got the bidet and the
Yep.
squatty potty.
Yep.
When I got back from Atlanta last weekend, I was like, oh, thank Jesus. So I have a few friends. I won't mention their names, Sydney and Rob. They will send Snapchats to each other of just us pooping. It's like, pants down.
Yeah.
And so we,
Yeah.
like, oh, it's, enjoying the day. So, see the squatty potty or whatever. And so the first few times I sent one back, Sydney was like, are you not wearing pants while you poop? And I was like, I am naked while I shit. If I'm at home, I take off my shirt off shits. Take off my shirt, take off my pants. Get cozy, baby. You don't need to be stressing your clothes.
I've taken my clothes off to poop before, but only when I've run in the house
And you knew it was going to be bad.
and it was gonna be bad and it was already hot. I was just like, let's go ahead and get these clothes off.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna be in here for a little.
I don't
bit.
want shoes on. So on Saturday, I woke up a little late. So I got to Rob's and had not had my morning movement
Yeah.
because I was bringing my dog with me until we had the best time hanging out with tennis balls in the backyard. So I was like, oh no, I have to poop here. I was like, wait a minute. I turned them on to squatty potty and bidet life. I gave them a squatty potty, and then Sydney was like, hey, I'm going to use your bathroom at my house one night. And I was like, nah, there's one right there. She goes, I want to use your bidet. And I'm like, all right, go ahead. Because I knew if she used it, it would get Rob a bidet. And it did. She
Oh,
bought him
nice.
one like
100%
4 days later.
How do you feel about other people using your bidet?
That's my thing.
I never even thought of that concept.
So, and the one they have, their house doesn't have the same cleaning method mine does. That like mine, you can close it and clean it with a spray.
Okay.
So I was kind of a little iffy about it, but you got to go.
Well,
you
you
have all the tools you need,
Yeah.
and if I have, different fecal flow in the next couple of days, maybe I got it.
Saigon,
I would use Eric Thomas's
got that
bidet.
Saigon flow.
I would not
very,
hesitate to use Eric Thomas's
Yeah.
bidet.
very watery.
Well, he's got a very clean butthole.
Speaking of very watery, I had
What
this.
What are you drinking? Still wine? Because I'm drinking something different.
I'm drinking filleted Felino, and it's really delicious.
So I'm drinking a Moscow Mule sans the lime, because Paxton doesn't have lime, so I put avocado in there.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah, it's
Betty Buzz ginger beer.
How is
And
it?
the buzz is upside down because you need to turn it upside down to get the ginger off the bottom that kind of settles. It is fantastic.
I've never seen it before.
Publix on Whitmarsh
Betty
gets a lot
Buzz.
of
Is it
Betty
kind of
Buzz.
expensive?
Better than Kraft?
Oh, yeah, it's like $7 for 4.
What's the other one we
That's
used
not
to do with the
Kraft? That's macaroni and cheese.
Kraft?
That's not bad.
The ginger beer.
Fever Tree.
Fever Tree.
Fever Tree, yeah.
I don't like Fever Tree that much.
The Regatta.
Regatta's okay. My favorite is
What
Reed's.
was the one?
Reed's is the worst one.
Bull and Cock or something?
Bundaberg.
What was the one? Bull and Cock or something?
Cock and Bull.
Cock and Bull's good.
Bull.
Yeah.
It's real spicy.
It is spicy.
Screw Fever Tree. They put pineapple in all their ginger beer. You know what belongs ginger beer? Pineapple.
There's a place in North Carolina called Blenheim. That's
Blenheim has
outside.
ginger beer too.
They make an amazing one called the Ski, and it will burn your fucking face off.
So
it is a super hot ginger
The first
beer.
time Clint, when he got into Moscow Mules, went to World Market and went back to the Moscow Mule shelf, or to the ginger beer shelf. $140 later,
Holy
all I bought
shit.
was, I mean, there were so many different ones.
Every different.
I bought
ginger beer.
one of almost every one they had
Just try them all.
just to try them all.
You Pokemon in it.
Yeah, Pokemon.
Yeah,
Gotta
and
get
then I
'em
put
all.
on like 5 pounds in 2 weeks. Couldn't figure it out. Oh yeah, cane sugar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Good
they're not.
stuff.
They're not good for you.
stuff.
It's like 140 calories in that probably.
This is 70 right here. The Fever
How many
Tree.
servings?
One serving. The Fever Trees that are much smaller than this.
Yeah.
There is like, let me see how many grams of sugar in here. There's 13 grams of sugar in here. The Fever Tree,
Tree's
which
30.
is smaller than this, is like 32.
32.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
It's crazy.
But they make a light.
Yeah.
Fever Tree light, so I'd go with that. And their light's not so. Some ginger beers go diet ginger beer. It's 0 calories.
Yeah.
I want some calories.
Some calories.
But see what I do with this, like I poured it in there. I shook it up a little earlier to get the ginger off. Poured it in there and then did a good rinse. That last little bit of flavor out of there.
Oh, there you go.
Did they make one with like stevia or something like that? That's a little better for you.
Stevia?
That too. Fucking tomato asshole.
Speaking of things
Potato
that
tomato.
should or shouldn't be in alcohol, so listen to this fucking shit.
Ooh, Papa, you're on the board.
This big old boy comes up the other night, Sunday night. It's getting a little bit late.
He's right there.
And and he goes,
Sorry, I had no choice.
I got
goes-
fucking ears.
he goes, hey man, I want a beer. I was like, all right. So I
Hey,
get,
man.
Budweiser. And then he goes, I want a shot, man, but like, I don't want anything straight. I was like, hey, I do bullet with water in it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes, I would never desecrate bullet with water.
Oof.
Okay.
I was
All
like,
right.
okay, big guy. I was like, I do it because it blooms it, number one, and I'm at work, so it kind of. Listen what this motherfucker orders. He goes, you know what? Instead of that,
Coming in.
motherfucker, you know what? Instead of that,
Drive it home.
I'm going to get a green tea shot then.
Oh.
With bullet.
No.
Okay.
He goes, but here's what I want you to do. Don't put none of that sour mix in there. I want Jameson, peach, and Sprite. I was like, you're telling me I'm desecrating bullet with water?
And you want me to shake up Sprite?
And I didn't shake up the Sprite. I'm not a fucking retard.
Yeah.
So I shook it up. I shook up the Jameson and the peach.
Sprite floater.
And then I Sprite floated and he goes, well done, brother. I was like, give me your fucking $10 and walk away.
Did he tip you?
I'm not going to, he tipped the shit out of me, actually.
Some people like
I'm not going to desecrate my bullet with water. Do you know what scotch goes with? Water or soda.
Ice.
Yeah.
Ice.
Yeah.
You know what ice is made of? Water, you fucking douchebag.
God damn.
Guess what else? Guess
Was
who
that
else?
your Darren?
Guess who else are fucking douchebags?
Of the week. It's the Karen of the week.
Segway.
Ah, shit.
Oh shit. Put it on him real quick because I gotta sneeze.
What do you got there? We go. Oh, we're on.
Get him. Paxton sneezes. So Paxton and I have that in common. My sneezes are
Brutal.
loud.
They're
so
brutal.
Is Froze. But
Yeah.
mine, okay, I'm at work. I hold it in because it's so just like, and I can't.
Yeah.
So in the dining room,
It's a Hadouken sneeze.
yeah, the dining room on Wednesday, I had to come out, and I was like, oh, and I turn from the table to get out of the way, and I hit it, and the whole dining room stops, like forks sled to a stop. The guys in the kitchen quit working. Everybody's like,
The construction crew down the street stop and turn.
Literally, one of the guys on the line, on the part of the line, leaned out like,
Stuck his head around the corner.
"What the hell just happened?" And there, I'm like, "Sorry, everybody, I'm okay." My table was like, "Is that normal?" And I was like, "That's what I do every time." And they're like, "You should see someone about that." I'm like, a sneezologist?
I see.
Are you a photic sneezer?
No.
No, photic,
Oh no.
where light affects it.
Oh, yeah. Looking
didn't
at
help
the
me.
sun.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Well, just light works for me. So sometimes,
light?
Yeah, any light.
Not
So,
helio.
I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but there's literally 10 lights in here shining very
lights.
brightly. Well, we installed a new
You
light.
can see every time I look at the screen, I'm like this.
We installed a new light in the liquor room at Huckapoo's.
Oh.
And it's basically made
Oh
of...
my God,
It
it
is
is
made
the
of the
sun.
sunshine.
So I hadn't been there since y'all put that light in, and I walked back there Saturday night because I brought sliders to you.
Yeah.
And thank you for eating some, but they got eaten very fast, but they were really good. Rob made some bomb-ass sliders. So I walked back there, and I'm like,
The first time I walked back there, I was like, oh my God.
Is it Anduriel from the Lord of the
It is
Rings,
six-
the Night
yeah.
Star?
It is 6 halogen.
6 million lumens.
6 million. It's brighter than your flashlight somehow.
But anyway,
No.
so
Get
here's
it bad people.
here's my fucking Darren of the week. Now here's the thing. It turns out he wasn't that bad of a guy in terms. But here's the story.
Pre-mark 3 or 4 so you can save your wrist.
I'm just,
Just holding the pen.
carpal tunnel right now.
I don't give a fuck
gotta
right
get
now.
some wine
I got a 1 milligram Xanax and half a bottle of fellatio in me. I'm good.
Half a bottle of fellatio.
So
Where do you buy
Fellatio.
fellatio? Wait, never mind.
the Alamo, you know.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So we're having I guess you call it the reception for the redfish fishing tournament, and we're going through the raffle and all this stuff. And there's this jerk off wearing a green mohawk wig, right?
Oh,
I don't know who this guy is. It's very busy. Obviously, the entire deck is full. He comes up. He goes, "Give me a Budweiser." I'm like, "All right." I give him a Budweiser. I go,
pleasant individual.
Yeah. I go $2.
Give
He
me
goes,
a Budweiser.
He goes, "Oh no, See that? See them right over there?" And he points into a sea of 100 people.
Oh, well, those people.
He goes, "They gonna be taking care of it, man, for everything that I've done for brought." I was like, "I don't know you."
He's hot shit.
Yeah, I was like, "I don't know you."
Yeah.
He goes, "Well, if you ask Heather about it," I was like, "Stay right here." And I went back and I was like, "Hey, Heather, the fat idiot with the giant green mohawk acting like a douchebag." She goes, "What did he do?" I was like, "He's like telling me that he doesn't have to pay for anything for this or for that." So what I did was I told Tragic Mike Henderson, who was taking care of, I was like, "Hey, I'm going to write down all his beers."
Yeah.
Well, so he goes back up and they start talking about the charity and stuff. And he had something to do with like setting them up with whatever. And his wife had died the year before.
But it's like Rob donates treadmills and stuff to many.
Whatever I don't care what
but
you
Rob
fucking
doesn't go,
do.
I get free beer, so I donate a treadmill.
I don't care what you do. Number one, if you come up with the right attitude, like, "Hey, I have an understanding from Heather that since I did this and that I could have a few beers."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. It's
Absolutely
just like bands.
acceptable. Yeah.
It's just like bands.
Yeah.
Bands will come up and be like, 14 shots and this and that. I'm like, "Hey, look, man, within reason, I'll give you a bar tab.
Yeah.
But
You
not,
can drink about $50 or something like that. But I'm not giving you
that's
14
plenty.
shots
That
every
per
couple
band
minutes.
member?
Huh?
Per band member?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, not really.
Depends on the size of the band.
Yeah, it's
When
just
you have that 14-piece band played,
most bands, they'll be like, "Hey, if we could just have all the PBRs we want," I'm like, "Yeah, I'll give you 100 PBRs."
There you
Whatever.
go. There you go.
But this guy came up with such a tiny dick energy about it. So then,
TD.
Microcock.
so then they start talking about like, I forget, I didn't know it was about his wife dying the year before, but I see him off in the corner shedding tears.
Oof.
I still didn't feel bad. Just because
Maybe she killed herself because he sucks so bad.
I don't care.
Ugh.
I don't care who or what you do. You don't bring that attitude to anyone
Yeah.
and expect. That's so Darren. And
It
It is so
this-
daring of
That's
Darren.
hard, Darren.
and this is not an uncommon thing.
No.
So we talked about it a little bit earlier, and I wanted to finish it on this half during the Darren portion. So there are guys that'll be like, all right, I'll give you an example. So there was an election on Sybee, and some of the city council people came up, and one of them goes, "Get ready to make some money tonight, brother. There's going to be some celebrations happening up here, you know." who
You can't see
proceeded
how my eyes just rolled. Jesus.
who proceeded to pay me for his beers in quarters
Oh.
at the end of the night. So then there's guys that are like,
in fucking quarters?
so then another guy,
You don't. There's a reason Huckapoo's, everything is an even amount.
Exactly.
Because they don't take quarters.
Yeah.
yeah. So then another guy, he brought.
Were they in rolls?
No, they were in a bag that
A Crown Royal bag?
No, it might as well have had weed in it. It was like the fold over sandwich bag. I've had another guy. He brought in like a. They weren't bikers, but it was something like that. It was like the Buffalo Brotherhood, and there's like 12 of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is that
And
like the shitty version of the Moose
He
Lodge?
comes in, yeah, exactly. He comes in and he's like, "See all these people I brought for you?" I'm like, "Brother, listen to fucking me right now. I don't give a good goddamn what day or time of day or goddamn night it is. We're gonna be fucking busy at Huckapoo's, whether your fucking ass comes here or not." And it's like, we don't care about your group.
Thank you for bringing a group, but there's going to be a group here anyways.
Yeah.
And you're that group that's drinking 2 Budweisers and not tipping me at all.
Is it?
Not
yeah,
even about the tip.
You're
We're
not getting free stuff because you brought 8 people with you.
and you're not getting clout because you
No.
or special treatment.
Nah.
Okay, now
if you walk into a completely empty bar,
yes,
where there's no one,
yeah,
and you go, "Hey, I heard you guys weren't doing so well. I brought 10 people with me.
yeah.
I don't want anything for free, but I'm just letting you know
Yeah.
I did this because I care about you. But you're going to be busy at your bar no matter what during the day on a Sunday."
Okay, question. A or B? Hash House Harriers or the Red Hats? Which would you rather have?
I don't understand what. Oh,
I don't know what
The
the Hash
groups-
House Harriers are.
You've never experienced a Hash House Harriers
No.
in Savannah? Oh, it's
no,
it's something else.
I've had the Red Hat ladies though. They're not around anymore.
You've told me about the Red Hat.
Yeah,
but
so I
what-
haven't experienced them in a long time.
We've
because
had the
I think
Hash
they're-
House Harriers at Huckapoo's before. Long time ago.
Are they the orgy people?
Is that Triple H's group?
Yes.
Oh.
They're the wild.
the runner?
wild-
The runner
Yes.
orgiest?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, we talked about this on the
Yeah.
podcast.
I know one of the guys. I love them. Now the group,
Yeah.
they drink a lot,
They drink a shit ton.
And they tip well.
and most of them tip well because people on the spectrum of
Because I'll
like,
definitely rather have them than the
Gay-
Red Hat ladies.
But they can get super duper wild and out of
well,
pocket.
yeah. Well, see, the people that are on the fringe of gay, bisexual, typically either tip a lot more or don't
Oh, gay
tip at
people.
all.
When gay men come in and they give them to a woman at work, I'm like, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
Give me that table."
Yeah.
When 2 straight guys come in, I want the table too.
Yeah.
The straight guys tip pretty. Straight business guys tip well, but you know, if it's 3 redneck dudes, give it to the chick. She's gonna get more out of them than me.
Yeah.
It's just common sense, hostess. But-
Okay, yeah. So
Because
I
the
like
hostess will be
that.
like, "Hey, I gave you these 2 hot chicks." I'm like,
Yeah.
"That's cool. They're hot.
Yeah.
This is not going to go anywhere for me."
But
But,
the-
you know what they're not going to do? Eat or drink much.
yeah.
Now, if there's
Right.
10 of them, then I can deal with it. But whatever.
The hash house people you're talking about.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of what they're
So the
called,
males are known
hashers.
as harriers, and the women are known as harriettes.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It's a common verb for hashing.
Mhm.
They are a non-competitive running social club. So basically what they do is they hash or run, but it's kind of more about just getting trashed and having sex with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all like
Yeah.
communal sex.
So they have like goals on like you're running to get to this thing, to get this object, and then you go to this next place.
If you get here, you can stick your dick in her.
But it would be like you get here and you get 5 beers.
Oh,
You
yeah,
got to
yeah,
chug them, or a pack of cigarettes, and you got to smoke them all, or something. You know.
So they've gotten kind of wild
Oh, yeah.
with like
Yeah, yeah.
open sexuality in terms of like feeling each other's titties and things like that, but never.
they've
never
been around since the late 1930s.
Never completely gone, but never completely out of control.
1938 in Kuala Lumpur.
But one of the guys, he's like a aero engineer, and he lives close to Huckapoo's, and he comes up all the time.
Yeah.
The nicest guy, and you would never expect.
Oh, there's some amazing people in the group. It's just sometimes they can get.
Once them.
Oh, they do the
Usually
Red
it's
Dress
crazy.
Run.
Huh?
The Red Dress Run, they do it every year in New Orleans
Okay.
around Mardi Gras, I think. They do the red. They're the ones that host the Red Dress Run because like everyone, dudes and everybody
What an interesting
wears
side note.
red dress.
Do
Interesting
you have
side.
any Karens or Darrens
So,
this week?
you know,
Or
my
positive?
week.
Got a positive?
Nothing positive happened this week. It was all
Nothing
terrible.
positive.
Yeah, you know what? Me neither.
No, but I'm trying to find out about them and sex, but whatever.
Yeah.
So the Red Hat ladies, though, like, you know what?
Oof.
You know what?
Yes.
Go over there. I'll be right back.
Oh boy, here we go.
Equipment.
Here we go.
You want me to cue that?
He's got to go down to the basement right quick.
I don't have a red
There's
hat.
there's that red tomahawk
Yeah, that's
right
what
there.
it's going to be. All right.
And
So
Hey, look who's back.
I'm
Karen.
Hey. Fancy.
Right, that's my red hat.
Close enough.
That's my
Close
red hat.
enough.
I like it.
Yeah. Because there are some hammering whores. So the red hat ladies, if you're not aware of them, they're a group of older women that think they are the hottest shit on the planet. And look here, these fucking bitches
Poop don't stink.
come in and act like they are the best. They're a gift to God for coming to see you. They're like Paxton said, they come to your restaurant or your bar and you're welcome that they're there.
Oh, you better be.
You better be grateful. They want the most abject, best treatment. They want the best table in the house. They will call ahead and say, it's the red hat ladies. So in the early 2000s, they would call, but they learned, because what they don't do? They don't fucking tip. They don't leave tips. They just come in, sit down, it's your gift, they're there, and then they run you to death. Extra sweet teas, more sugar, limits, the whole gambit
Lots
of
of
Karen
limits.
problems. It's all of them. All of them. They are wearing red hats. That's cool. Fuck your red hat. God damn it, tip, you dumb bitches. So what they learned is if they made reservations, restaurants would not, A, take them,
They would auto-grad them.
or we'd autograph them. So what they would do, when autographs came along, is they would make a bunch of four-top reservations.
Right.
To avoid the autograph.
So they wouldn't get the
So
six-top
wherever, look,
autographs.
I learned real fast. That the third table, I was like, you can fire me for this. I'm gratting them every time they sit down. Sometimes they'd leave you like, the difference on the dollar. You get like 80 cents. But like, Garibaldi's was a problem for them. They'd come in a lot. And they'd call and make a bunch of reservations and not say anything about being red hat so they could kind of sneak in. And as soon as they walked in, the management would be like, ladies, hold on a second. And go up there, big tables. You're getting gratted. Well, I'm on this tab. Nope. One check. Like, we would put it down on them. They don't come in circular. They've been banned.
That's great, though. That in the overall, you were able to stick a
conquer the
fork
red
in
hat,
it,
yeah.
basically.
Right.
And it's not like they were spending mad money buying, like, giant, they would eat, soup and
But
salad
they bring
crap.
that attitude of, look what I've done, look what
was
I've
an-
brought.
it
And they
was a
always came in happy
notoriety.
hour, or like early bird.
Yeah.
There were some early turds at early bird.
Early turds.
Just like whenever that Saigon Bistro pho goes through your
That
bidet.
might be an early turd.
Your body to bidet.
What I didn't think about doing, was taking the Saigon Bistro out of the styrofoam container. Because the broth comes in, so it's going to be all stuck to it.
Well, if it melts through it, then you know not to eat it.
Is this going to play on the air?
It
No,
won't.
okay. It was
But
good.
anyway, so,
We have good ideas. Okay.
All right, now, before we get to the end of the show, you have to...
Sorry, we didn't fix it for him.
there we go.
God damn it.
So we'd like to thank all
I
of
can see you in
our...
the state of undress.
We'd like to thank all of our Instagram followers, and we'd
Definitely.
like to implore you to go to our YouTube channel, From Behind the Barcast, subscribe, like our video, and comment "My Sir" with a comment, so
My
you
Sir.
can be the third and fourth winner of the Prince.
Because we were going to shout out the two comments that were made this week.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't want to be seen undressing.
Okay.
It's no,
It's a personal thing.
it's a very personal thing. This is gonna make noise. Sorry. By the way, new camera looks great on YouTube. Love
Nice.
it. So we
This is tasty.
we
And the
have.
lights.
Oh, that was my reply. We have three comments. Nope, it's me. So we have two comments. My sirs, this episode made me laugh harder than a woodpecker's lips.
I think that's
That's good. That's great.
That's Rob. But from my sister Charlotte, my sirs, do you really think we landed on the moon? It's relevant.
That's pretty great. Yeah.
Relevant. Now, Woodpecker Lips next week would be good because I just talked about it this time.
I was gonna say,
So what we're going to do, you're both going to get a Grant Nelson print of your choice because you followed directions.
Yes.
Maybe one of you had to do an edit, but still.
That's okay.
We just want you to engage with us because when you engage with our YouTube and our Instagram, it helps us grow.
You know what's
Sure.
really weird is
What?
actually looking at your podcast on YouTube while you're doing your podcast on YouTube, and it's a
Oh, wow,
the
yeah.
matrix sideways and backwards.
That is
Backwards and side. That's
backers.
So yeah, so we're gonna
that makes me harden a
we're gonna cut
woodpecker's
this
lip.
break a little early here, and we're gonna go do a Patreon.
Let's get the F count real quick.
Oh, it's. I think it's a new.
Wow.
All right, never mind. I win. Go
Yeah.
ahead, tell
How
me
bad?
about
I
it.
mean,
down.
you couldn't even got them all.
Yeah, I think I got close. 11.
Okay,
no,
yeah.
no way. It was
Close.
like
You got
way.
5.
I like it.
Yeah, I had
I
five.
was
Yeah,
the,
I turned it up to some as he did. Well, you had two.
Yeah. I had 3.
You had three. Okay.
So,
So
I slipped some in when you weren't paying attention.
That's-
all right, Jeffrey
Often.
Dahmer.
Wow.
I mean,
man.
Speaking of things that slipped in,
consent.
It's because of that drink.
we're gonna do a little Patreon after this, where one of us gets hit in the face with a dead rat covered in peanut butter. Find out who after this on the Patreon.
Bye.
Subscribe.
We love you guys.
I went Instagram Live while you.